Hi everyone, I'm Deng Pan from University of Oxford, and my research focuses on how humans build cognitive maps or cognitive graphs to organize abstract knowledge and support decision making. And talking about cognitive map, this is a concept brought up by Tolman almost 7 decades ago. It's heavily based on mice study. And for mice, if you're a mouse, thinking about it, you go into a maze, you want to find food. The first thing you do is to get familiar with this maze. You want to know which location is associated with other locations, and that is building a state-state association in reinforcement learning. And the second thing you do is you not only just wander around, you want to find food in this maze, you want to actually know which location contains food, which doesn't. And you know this state-goal association. And by combining these two processes, you will form a comprehensive cognitive map, and you will know how to find your food more efficiently. And our human beings are not too different from animals. We can form cognitive maps to help ourselves to do all kinds of stuff, but we can do it more abstract. We can build more like cognitive graphs that is not based on Euclidean distance, but more based on transitions. And it's similar, still two steps, state-state association and state-goal association. Here we utilize this scenario in a football game. It's a football game is we ask participants to play a role of a goalkeeper, and this goalkeeper, you have to predict who is the next shooter going to receive the ball and shoot it. So to do it, you have to do two things. You first need to use the transition structure to understand who is going to get the ball next. And then you have to understand if this guy gets the ball, which direction you are going to guard more, left or right. So that is state-goal association. With hypothesis based on previous literature, the hippocampus and orbitofrontal cortex represent these two processes separately. To test this, we did an experiment on human participants, asking them to learn a Markov transition structure with 4 nodes, and 2 of them are associated. I mean, there are 2 pairs. Pairs meaning the characters associated have a higher transition probability. They are more likely to pass ball to each other. And if you think, if we can maybe play it now, if you are the goalkeeper and you observe this sequence, then pass ball to Matthew, Matthew pass ball to Dan, and Matthew, Dan. Continuously, there are 4 characters. Another one is Ali, and another one is Simone. By the way, they are all the authors of this research. So obviously, you can think about it. If you see this sequence, you only observe the 2 characters continuously passing ball to each other. Suddenly, you say this new purple character, who would be the next one? It's very easy. I think most of the human beings can do it. Based on your experience, you know there are 1 pair already be taken, that is Matthew and Dan. And then you know by your inference, there must be the next 2 characters are paired, the purple character and the red character. And so you immediately can infer the next character should be Simone, who is here, by the way. And we built these models to understand, build these several models to understand whether humans are really doing this. We built a model that is very stupid. It only tracks the frequency of each character, ignoring the transition structure. We built a model more like successor representation that tracks the transition probability, but in a naive way. This is only using experience. If you have never experienced that, they don't know this transition can happen. But the clever model, they really know it. They both use experience and the structure-based inference to guide their decisions. And we find human participants are more like model 2. They are very clever. This is such a good news that people are very clever. They use structure knowledge, abstract way to guide their decisions to be more flexible. So the question next is where this structure knowledge is represented. We find that in hippocampus, we can find this very beautiful neural geometry representing the transition structure. The characters, the players that are linked together, having a higher transition probability, are also closer in neural space. And we did the representational similarity analysis, finding this pattern is uniquely in hippocampus. And instead, orbitofrontal cortex cares more about the goal directions, both in our RSA analysis and decoding analysis. And we did something as a cross-condition generalization, finding it's an abstract way disentangled from the transition structure representation. Then we trained the neural network to do the same task. The neural network is a long-term, short-term memory model using the actor-critic training algorithms. And we find that the model can learn it, and they behave just like human. They can do experience, and they can do the structure-based inference. We find some neurons that, just like hippocampus, representing the transition structure. And when we compare with a new control model that has no such requirement asking them to learn the transition structure and use it, such behavior pattern disappears. And also, there are fewer neurons representing the transition structure. So we are going to do more about it, but if you are interested, please come to my poster today. We are interested in your feedback. And thank you very much.